Hey everybody, Mac here, and we are going to work on quadratic equations, but this time we're not going to tell you how to solve them. You solve them for however you want, and we're going to give you some strategies on how to do that. So let's take a look at the first one right here. Okay, step number one always is to start by trying to pull out common factors, or what's the same. Is there anything the same between these? Yeah, a 6x. What's left over? X minus 4. Now, just set both of these equal to 0. And then all you got to do is solve. We're going to get 0 for this. There. And then here I'm going to get x equals 4. All right? Number 2. First step when I look at this is I say, will it factor? And if it doesn't, then I got to do something else. But let's see. Third term positive, signs are the same. Take the sign of the middle. What multiplies to 20 but adds to 9? Well, that would be a 5 and a 4. It does factor. Now, once I do that, I just got to make each one of these parentheses equal to 0. Okay, and so this one, a 5 would do it. And on this one, a 4 would do it. And I'm done. Okay, once you make one parenthesis 0, 0 times whatever will get you your 0. All right, number 3. Oh, look, I can factor something out. I'm going to pull out a 3, and I'm going to get an x squared minus 5x minus 6 equals 0. Now, if you pulled out a constant, you can just ignore it like it doesn't even exist, okay? It's fine to do that. If that was like a 3x, no, you got to deal with it. But if it's just a number, that's okay. Don't worry about it. Okay, let's see if I can factor this. If I can't, I'll have to quadratic it. All right, so let's see. Third term is negative, so my signs are different. What multiplies to 6 and subtracts to 5? That would be 6 and 1. The bigger one gets the sign of the middle. Remember doing all this stuff? Boom. Now, I need each parenthesis to say 0. So in the first parenthesis, I want them to say negative 1. In the second parenthesis, I want it to be a positive 6. And those are my answers. Okay, let's go to number 4. I look at number 4. Will any factors of 1 do anything to get me to 4? And no, I don't see that. So this is either going to be complete the square or it's going to be quadratic equation. Because I see that my middle number is even, I'm going to go complete the square. Okay, so now, first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to add 1 to both sides. X squared plus 4x equals 1. Okay, now, what's half of 4? 2. What's 2 squared? 4. So I add 4 to both sides. And the reason I did that is because now it's in the trinomial square form. That's going to become x plus 2 quantity squared. That's going to become a 5. Now when I square root both sides, I'm going to get x plus 2 equals root 5. Not just root 5, but plus or minus root 5. Once I subtract 2 to both sides, they go away. X equals negative 2 plus or minus root 5. Boom. Okay, ooh, that was an ugly little circle I did. Negative 2, well, whatever, you know what it is. Okay, negative 2 plus or minus root 5. Okay, great. Let's go on to number 7. Ooh, that one looks like it could be ugly. Okay, well, maybe, maybe not. Let's see if I can factor first. Okay, I don't know. Maybe I can, maybe I can't. 7x and x and a 1 and a 1. My outies are going to be a 7 and a 1. There's no way that's going to turn into a 3. So I am just going to erase all of this. And now I'm going to start over. Now that I tried to factor, because that's the quickest way, since I could see really quickly that it wouldn't factor, and I see that the middle term is odd, and I'm leading with a 7, yeah, you know, A equals 7, B equals negative 3, C equals negative 1. We just need the quadratic equation, this guy. All right, so let's go opposite of B, which is going to be a positive 3 because it's negative, plus or minus square root of B squared minus 4 times A times C all over 2A. This becomes 3 plus or minus square root of negative 3 squared is a 9. Negative times a positive times a negative is a positive, and that's going to be a positive 28 all over 14, which is going to be 3 plus or minus square root of 37 all over 14. Guess what? Nothing I can do with that. That is your fun answer. Okay, and that's it. You're done. Number 6. Ooh, look at that. Perfect square minus a perfect square. Okay, boom, boom, boom. I'm going to square root my x. I'm going to square root my 81, and I'm just going to go signs opposite. Now I'm just going to make each of these equal to 0. He's going to need a -9 to do that, and he's going to need a 9 to do that. Okay, nice and easy. This one, oh, can I pull anything out? What's the same? Yeah, you know what? An 8x is the same, and I'm left with an x plus 4. Now I just need each factor to equal 0. Now I'm going to divide each side by 8. Boom, die. X equals 0. And this one, a -4 minus 4. Boom, die. X equals -4. Boom. That's all I do, okay? And then lastly, number 8, I ask myself first, can I factor this? Now, I know it's third term positive. Factors of 11 will have to add to 10. Now, the only factors of 11, because its prime is 11 and 1. They'll subtract to 10, but I need them to add to 10, so no, it actually won't work. So do I do quadratic? Or should I do complete the square? Well, because the middle term is even, complete the square will work. So we might as well give that a try. X squared minus 10x equals -11. Now, to complete the square, to make it into a trinomial square, I take half of the middle, which is 5, and I square it, which is 25. And I'm just going to add 25 to both sides. Once I do that, this becomes x minus 5, quantity squared, equals 14. Square root both sides, and I'm going to get x minus 5 equals plus or minus root 14. And then once I add 5 to both sides, I'm going to get x equals 5 plus or minus root 14. I know square root of 14 is 7 times 2. I'm not going to be able to pull anything out. So we're just done. Okay, so now that's version B. That's another page of just mixed problems of quadratics and how you would approach these on a test. Okay, I've got one more. So if you feel like you want a little more practice, go on to version C. If not, you are now the quadratics master. Go get an A on that test.